Mm. Hey y'all, welcome to the Devon A. Morris Unfiltered Call-In Show. Have a seat. Let's get ready. You have any questions? Come on, call in. Come on to that Discord channel. Do me a favor, get the unfiltered crew some finger snaps. We're ready to get started here. Mondays, 8 p.m. Every single Monday, we're here. I'm excited about it. Are you? Let's get this show started, y'all. The greatest scrum show on earth. I'll see y'all soon. Enjoy. Hello, everyone. Oh, I got all kinds of extra sound effects happening there. Let me get how y'all doing there? Let's bring it in. Woo! I just wanted to hit that for a second, y'all. If you don't know me, my name is Devon Morris. I'm gonna be your guide on this journey tonight, even though this thing don't want to lay back right there. It's okay. So again, name is Devon Morris. How are you doing? Let's see, my little screen is going, my lights is okay. It's like I got a little darkness on one side, but it's okay. It's all right. I got the light way over there. So anyway, welcome to the Unfiltered Call-In Show. We talk about Agile, Scrum, entrepreneurship, whatever kind of questions that you have. It's been a couple weeks, man. Hopefully everybody had a great little holiday. Man, do you know how much I miss you? Like, I miss you. Like last Monday, I had to sit there and I really was gonna jump on and just do like a pop-up. And I just said, I said I wasn't gonna do it. But I missed you. Hopefully you missed me too. Whatever you do, whether you're on LinkedIn or you're on YouTube, please drop a hello in the chat. Say what's up. Say how you doing, brother. What's going on? What's happening? Say I don't like you. Say something. Okay? So please do that. I'll give you a shout back in a minute. The way we kind of operate is really very simple. It's really very simple. We do have someone in the green room right now, but as I will say to you, we don't really jump into the green room until about 15, 20 minutes into the show, because what we start off is a real simple place. We start off with the topic of the day. We'll take 5 minutes and just talk about catching up a little bit, and then we'll talk about the topic of the day, and then we'll go ahead and open the floor for questions. Now, if you've never been to this show, the way it works is really very simple. I have a link that you can actually grab. I'll throw it in the chat right now, and you are welcome to come join us on the chat live. If you click that link, though, you're coming to the live show. Those questions take priority, so everybody knows. If that's not your cup of tea, it's okay. If that's not the way you want to do things, and you want to drop things in the chat, you're welcome to drop your questions in the chat. I go through lives first. Lives take priority, and then I go through, chat. I get through all the questions. So just think about what kind of questions that you have, what kind of things have been coming up for you over the past few weeks, and let's talk about it. Even if you got good things that's happened, I love to discuss those things, because sometimes other people just need to hear your good stories, right? And good stories don't come all the time. So I welcome all the good stories as well. So know that. So welcome everyone. Let me go ahead and go out to the chat before I do anything else. And let's see. Let's double check and see if we got people here. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Looks like we got a couple people here. All right, so let's see. Jennifer, how you doing? She'd say, hey fam. I do consider y'all to be family. This is very true. I kind of love calling y'all family. I kind of feel like this is my family. I kind of feel really connected to you all. Like, seriously, I really, really do. So, yeah, I always enjoy that. Let's see. Shanita, how you doing? Tell the little less than better half, right? I can't say better half. I always say better half when it comes to the woman. So tell your hubby I said hello, right? So welcome. Let's see. Hey, Carla. Carla say, hey to me. Hey, Wolf to Philip. We know what that means, right? Doden, how you doing there? How's it going? Hopefully everything's going good with you. And pretty much that's what I see in the chat. I see we got a few people around, so that's good. So if you don't know what's happening, our topic of the day is the top reason why your product owner sucks. The top reason why your product owner sucks. You understand? Your product owner, not my product owner. The top reason why your product owner sucks is what we're talking about. Now, here's the deal. That is so stupid. But we're going to talk about that, right? I have not written any notes at all for this because I'm just going to go off the top of the dome, right? Because I got one answer for you. I really got one answer for you, okay? And so this might be a really short time frame in terms of answering this question. But I really got one answer for you. Anyway, what's happening with me? I got a CSPO happening next week, half day. I think it's going 5:50, something like that is what we're doing for, almost at least all the foundational classes. That's what we're doing. And then half day CSPO the week after. So the 26th, 19th CSPO, 4 days. 24th CSM weekend. That's just 2 days. I got CSM half days after that, and then a CSPO weekend after that. So really got a bunch of stuff happening in a short period of time. So, you're interested in that stuff, you're welcome. Alumni can always come back for a refresher. Know that because I know several people in alumni. We do give a one-time alumni come back to the class that they came to. So use that. Don't use it like frivolously, right? Use it when you really need to, right? I got an advanced CSM coming next month. So we're going to do one in October, and we'll likely do one in December to close the year out. So we're going to do advanced during those time frames. I never did get around doing an advanced CSPO. I got to think about that. I don't have everything completely ready for it. Let's see. Other than that, there's going to be some evidence-based training coming out. I have a lot of things that I've learned in this PhD program that I'm really ready to start applying. So you're going to see some new courses, probably certification courses, come out about evidence-based coaching, and being able to apply that within an agile world. So and then you can actually have things that work, proven solutions, right? Instead of these anecdotal things, right? Hey, Evelyn, how you doing? Evelyn always comes by and says hello. She always has great things happening too. So I love to see Evelyn. So on that note, let's see. I think that's it for logistics. All the kids are good. Everything's good, man. Everything's good. Hopefully everything is good for everybody else. So let's talk about this real quick. And I'm not going to make this a complicated thing. I'm going to make it a real simple thing. Do me a favor before I even jump into it. What are some reasons why the product owner or product owners that you're associated with just aren't doing so well? Can you type that in the chat for me? Just really, it's a couple reasons why the product owner isn't doing so well. Okay? Now, when you think about simple things like product backlog refinement, right? Sometimes I tell a story about how I had one of the best product owners that I ever had, my second job in Scrum, right? And I was at Capital One back in 2007. And I remember the guy's name. His name is Mike, and he was the best product owner I ever had. He didn't need my help for anything. We didn't need to do product backlog refinement. He had it all handled. He knew how to do all the stuff, right? And so, you say to yourself, why the heck are you doing product backlog refinement? Because likely something ain't going right with your product owner. Likely there's something not right with the requirements, right? And normally requirements fall into the product owner space. Even if you have a business analyst, they normally are backfilling for the product owner, right? What are some other classic things that you see? Beyond that, product owners that aren't available, that just don't have the time. That could be one of the reasons why you're having big problems with your product owner. That could be. Another issue that I see that classically comes up is the issue of the product owner that says, hey, I need everything. I need everything, right? Is that a function of a problem with the product owner, or is that a function of a problem with you, right? So, product owners that don't know how to write user stories, for example, right? All these things can easily be dispelled. Every single one of them, okay? My audio's low, huh? Let me pull my mic up a little bit. Let's see. Let me double check something. My levels seem to be fine. What I'm going to do is speak louder. So hopefully my audio clears up for you, Shanita. So I'm going to speak a little louder, and maybe that will clear it up. Maybe project more like I do in class, right? So hopefully this is better. Let me bring that level all the way up. So sorry that it sounds a little low, but I just pulled the mic forward and turned it all the way up. And I'm projecting. So thank you for the feedback in time. Improvements on the fly. So, but if I really was to step back and I really was to boil it down to what my solid answer is for why your product owner sucks, it's you. It's you. Your product owner sucks because of you. Now, why do I say that? Because many of you that are here right now are designed to be the person that is there to make things better. Designed to be the person that makes things better. So Evelyn says to me, hey, product owner failing to prioritize and developers get burnt out. Why is that happening? It could be some real reasons. It could be some reasons why that's happening. But why don't your product owner know how to prioritize is the question. Do they even have the ability to prioritize? Have you written stories in a way, have you written your user stories in a way where they're mostly focused on technology and not focused on the user? They're not really user stories, right? Goes as a developer, as a tester, right? I can't prioritize those things, right? Do I really have a sense of what return on investment is in terms of the product? These are things that if you see a product owner, they don't exist with a product owner. What is your job to do as a Scrum Master? You see, it's a problem, right? Now, a product owner that's failing to prioritize is officially an impediment now. It's officially an issue, isn't it? And what is your job as a Scrum Master? Solve those issues, to remove those impediments, right? Now, save the company that, I'm putting aside the company that ain't going to help at all. The company that just says you just got to do things X, Y, and Z way. I'm saying if you got an opportunity to improve it, then you're one of the big problems. Because at the end of the day, why is the devs getting burnt out? Well, they're taking on too much work. Well, why are you allowing them to get burnt out? Why is that happening? Now, again, I get that there's management and executives and everybody else who puts teams on death marches and they do all kinds of crazy things, right? But I'm putting aside all those crazy things because Scrum can't do nothing about craziness whatsoever. And you can't do anything about craziness either. But realistically, if it's not super crazy and you don't have unrealistic people all over the place, it's your job to probably help them. If you're a manager, it's your job to help them. If you're the devs, you need to make it clear to them that, hey, maybe here's the reason why we're taking on too much. Here's the logic behind it, and here's the impact that it's going to have if we continue to do this. Let them see the error in their ways. If you are the product owner, then you're failing to teach yourself. So regardless of how I peel this onion, it goes back to being you. We should all be on this pursuit of perfection, right? An absolute trying to get to a place where we need to get to. But realistically, at the end of the day, especially if you're the freaking Scrum Master, it is your job to help make that product owner better. And unfortunately for a lot of us, we don't think it's our job. And that's a whole problem. Do you understand? It is not you and the developers against the world. That's not the way it works. it doesn't matter in Scrum whether the product owner reports to some other chain of command. Scrum doesn't care about that. Scrum doesn't care about your politics, right? So whatever it takes to get that product most successfully, as efficiently out the door, because Scrum is really about delivering value, getting rid of those things. I mean, if there's one job that the Scrum guy says that the Scrum Master is supposed to do, is remove an impediment. But if your butt now sees an impediment and ain't, you hear me say ain't doing nothing about it, then it's you. It's you. You are supposed to be the magician to change these problems. You are supposed to help make this future better. You are supposed to facilitate us moving forward in hopefully a better direction. It becomes your job. So, I don't care what role you play. It's you that's the problem. So, I've had many product owners over my time. And the worst product owners that I ever had, except outside of the one that did a great job by himself, I can directly point toward things that I wasn't able to help them do in order to make the world a better place. Just think about it for a second. Think about those things that you say or think that's not so great with your product owner. Now, ask yourself a question. Is there something you can do about it? Your answer could be no. Because you might have a bunch of management that's just like, nah, life's just gonna suck. And nothing you can do. Their company, I'm not gonna tell you to get yourself fired. A dead Scrum Master is no good to anyone. Does that make sense? A dead Scrum Master is no good for anyone whatsoever. At least that's what Ken Schwaber said to me when I took his class back in 2005. So, I do want to say something though. Oh, I got something else to say that's on another note in just a minute. So, that being said, once again, I'll say it again. It is likely the biggest problem that you have with your PO is likely you. You need to figure out how to help that PO be the best PO that they can ever be. My philosophy is really simple. If you look at everything that the Scrum guy says is the PO should do, it is your job to help them get better at doing all that stuff. Sounds unreasonable? One of the reasons why I became a certified Scrum product owner back in the day was because I wanted to help my product owners be a better product owner. Am I crazy? No, I'm not. Because what's the problem that classically happens? I mean, you may forget about it and skip it, and you may not want to think about it, but most of us have problems with requirements. Right? Most of us typically have problems with requirements. If it's not something that's purely technical, we have problems with requirements, right? Just think about it for a moment. Right? Because studies show that 65% of defects come from requirements. So requirements is a huge problem. And who owns the requirements? Well, who owns the product backlog? Product owner. What does the requirements normally fall in? Product backlog. We call them product backlog items. You understand all that, right? There's nothing new here. But realistically, when I really sit back and I think about my time in being a Scrum Master and involved in every single team, even if management didn't let me do it, I realized that it was my job to help the product owner be a better product owner. And so, if your product owner is a huge problem, and if I was coaching you, I would look at you and ask you what you're doing about it. Am I wrong for that? I don't think so. If I was to take it and put it someplace different, I don't blame parents who don't have parenting skills and be so upset at them because they don't have parenting skills. What I do is I help them gain parenting skills so they can be better parents. Does that make sense? You can sit up there and you can be the person that talks about the problem and never has a solution, or you can be the solution of the problem. So my point to you is that if your product owner sucks, if your product owner sucks, you're the solution. You're the solution. Don't ever think you're not the solution. You're the solution. And even when you can't get exactly what you want, get a workaround as best you can get fit. Get the best you can. Okay? So, that's a big deal right there. Okay? Now, here's the deal. I got a question on that already, but I'm going to say this right now. For those that are interested, you are welcome to join us in the green room. I see somebody's in the green room. If you're in the green room right now and you're ready to ask a question, I'm about to go live in the green room in just a minute. But if you're interested in asking a question live on the show, you know how we do. I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the chat, at least the link to that on LinkedIn right now. And I'm going to go ahead and drop it on YouTube as well. So on this there, okay? Now, before I even move out of this place, I have a question here, and then I'll go to the green room. And I'm only bringing this question up because it really is pertaining to the topic. What if I, the Scrum Master, have checked all the boxes to help the PO get better, but he still sucked? Change the PO. Change the PO. So you might be in a situation where management won't let you do nothing to change the PO. Then you're going to be stuck. But I guarantee you, you're going to keep trying to do different things. I guarantee you, as soon as an opportunity arises, you're going to try to change something. But I'm always trying to evaluate it. Always trying to look at it. Always trying to find an opportunity. Always, if management changes in any kind of way, bring a suggestion back up. So when you say check all boxes, I never think I've exhausted all boxes. I do in that moment, but then I just keep reevaluating it. I keep bringing it back. Because I'm not going to say you're not going to get frustrated. But if you've exhausted all the boxes and that person still sucks, do they need training? Are they really supposed to be the product owner in the first place? Are they being passive aggressive? Management don't want to do anything about this whatsoever. Management's not in a position to do anything about it. So there's always something to be done. There are situations where, in truth, in reality, you're not going to be able to do anything. And in that situation, now I guess you can start blaming other people. But I never blame anybody else. Because I know when I hold myself accountable to it, I know that I'm always in this pursuit of making it better. I don't give up on them. I just don't give up on them. I used to give up on them. I don't give up on them anymore. I don't let anybody associated with me give up on them. Because if I give one little window, one little way to have a conversation, one little set of words might be that trigger. So I guess I remain forever hopeful, even if I feel like I checked all the boxes, because I know that there's going to be another check box that's going to open up at some point that's going to help me out, Chucks. So just know that you might be halted for the moment, but don't think you're halted forever. Okay? So very, very important. So thank you. I think that's an excellent comment. I think people actually were thinking that. So if you're thinking that, halt, it may slow you down for the moment, but don't let it completely stop you. Now, I'm going to say this because I got to say this. He may be online here. He may not be online, and that's perfectly fine. My godfather in Scrum, Tom Miller, who I think became a certified Scrum trainer back in 2007, maybe even 6, maybe even 5. I don't know. He is actually retiring from training, and he's going to be a trainer emeritus. This is a nice status that trainers can reach. So I want to say to you, Tom, enjoy the last classes that you're going to train. I think you just this weekend just completed one of your last classes, and I think you got one more CSPO coming up. Congratulations, brother. You earned it. And it's nice to see. It's nice to see where I can go as I continue my journey in terms of training. So I hope to be someplace where you are at in my future. But I want to say thank you first and foremost, for introducing me to Scrum, and being there whenever I needed you to be there. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's. Okay, so the person that was there, they dropped off. So I'm assuming that they didn't have a question. So I will say to you, the lines are open, and if you have questions, it is now time to drop those questions in the chat. Okay? It is now time to drop those questions in the chat. I had a mosquito trying to bite me, so I had to kill him off real quick. I had to knock him down real quick, even though I did all this deep wood off on myself, because when you have certain things open, they've been going crazy. They've been trying to eat me up, but I don't let them eat me up like that. It's been interesting, man. Seeing my friend actually go to CST Emeritus is just a really nice thing to see. You know, it's really nice to say to yourself, you know what, I'm kind of done with this. I'm gonna retire from this. You know, and there's certain criteria associated with it. I could be, maybe I'm close to meeting that criteria. I will have been training almost 10 years come next year. Maybe we'll have a celebration. I probably can track back to when I initially got the certification and really, really talk about a celebration at that point. It would be actually very, very interesting. So yeah, 10 years is coming up for me. Come next year. So any questions? I see Evelyn was like, no, when I said it's you. Evelyn, it just is what it is, right? It is about us doing the best we can in terms of making sure that we do everything that we can to help product owner devs, everybody around us be able to do the best job that they can do, right? It's putting people in great positions so and then they can just be great. And that's always for me, that's a nice way to think about it. You know, which is part of that sacrifice, right? That's a part of that sacrifice of being involved especially as a Scrum Master, because it's a job of very little. You don't get a lot of accolades. As a person who serves others, you just don't get a lot of accolades when it comes down to just anything related to that. So let me add a couple notes here, because I said I was going to give an update on this. For those that was interested in the volunteer program, I cannot do the pop volunteer program at this time because I don't have a project for people to work on. Just thinking about that volunteer program, we would have to have not only Scrum Masters, and I think everybody was interested in being a Scrum Master. Well, any team that's full of Scrum Masters is not going anywhere. We would actually have to have developers as well as Scrum Master, and I would probably be the PO. So just so you know, it's something I'd love to do, but I just don't have a project that we can work on where I can have many people be developers. At the very least, when I get to doing some work on it, at least for a solid month, I'll make sure that I do weekly sprints or something like that. So then you all can take a look at the backlog and get some ideas about how Scrum is run, and then we can go from there. But I said I would make sure that you knew that before I sent any emails out, anything like that, because I did bring it up here, but I don't have a project for us to work on. And that's the reason why I cannot do a volunteer program where you just can't learn anything. Anybody who knows me and has been around me, trained with me, or been in my classes know that I want to make sure that you get goodness out of whatever we do. So just know that, maybe in the future, but right now I just don't have a project. Okay. Okay, so got it now. You have said it well. We'll change course. Yeah, Evelyn, I will say this to you, and this is the best way I can say it. In all my journeys in Scrum, the vast majority of times when I've had a product owner The only time we could not find areas of improvement is when I had product owners that were not interested in improving at all. Okay? And that right there was a whole problem. Okay? So it looks like I have somebody who kind of wants to join us. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of that and get ourselves going here real quick. And let's see. Hello there, guests. I think your name is, oh, they left. So that's another time people done left. But maybe they'll be back. But yeah, you just got to be really careful. I don't know. It's one of those things when I think when I'm working with an organization, I have this, there's always a possibility. There's always a dream of me reaching this perfect place that I know we're never going to reach, right? I mean, I know in reality we're never going to reach, but it's that constant pursuit of perfection that, for me, is the beauty of this. Right? Because even small tweaks that we do along the way, they all actually help us ultimately deliver more product, do better things for everyone that's involved. So realistically, I'm always pursuing that extra greatness, that extra happiness, that extra everything is what I'm pursuing. So when it comes down to a product owner, I'm pursuing the same thing. I'm trying to find ways to make this situation better. I'm trying to find ways to make sure that when the devs, for example, look at a requirement, the requirement is perfect the first time they look at it, right? And I want to do that for every single requirement, right? I want to make sure that the product owner can move beyond just looking at, just guessing things, and really have a good idea of what the return on investment is going to be for delivering something. It could be simply product utility or time saved. But I love to get to those kind of places, right? The other kind of things that actually exist that could cause us a problem here or there, we kind of go after and go for. So it just is one of those things where, as a Scrum Master, it is just about the constant pursuit. As a product owner, you also are pursuing that level of perfection because it impacts your budget, impacts the amount of time you have. It impacts your ability to deliver the best product to the customer. And maybe you may not be that concerned about that as a product owner, but if your job was on the line, you probably would be. Like, seriously. Okay? So, here's the deal. I've asked a few times. I'm going to double check. Anyone with any questions, either online or call in. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and then if there's no one with any questions, we're going to do our normal thing and shut it down, and we'll be back next week. I was debating on a topic for next week. I definitely have a topic for next week. And my topic for next week is going to be product backlog refinement not working. Here's why, right? Product backlog refinement not working. Here's why. So more about tips about product backlog refinement. And so we'll make sure we touch on that next week. So last month, we kind of focused on Scrum Master stuff. This month, I figure it's going to be product owner stuff. Maybe next month it'll be dev stuff. Why not? October? Why not? Yeah. Oktoberfest. A Code Fest. You know, we can do something in October, maybe focus on devs. So, that being said, I'm going to look once again, see if I see any questions. And I'm not seeing any. Maybe you all have had an interesting start to your September. You know, it's kind of interesting because this is always the month where kids are deeply back in school and, you know, people's lives just have changed from the summer, you know, definitely after the holiday. So I know you guys are easing back into your lives. But on that note, seeing that there are no questions, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for the evening. I'm going to look one more time and double check. I'm always excited to see all you all. That is always extra pluses for me because I get energy from you. It always is just great. And so I find that to be nothing but goodness. If you have any marketing skills, that'd be great to know. because you may be able to give me some ideas on what we can do in terms of the channel. Digital marketing skills, I should say. Let's see. On that note, people, I think that's it for us then. I'm going to say have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And we're going to just go ahead and say bye at this point, because I see no questions in any place. And we're going to get back next week, and we're going to talk about those top backlog refinement tips. And then we'll go from there. Hey, y'all, I appreciate you. You all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll see you next week. Thank you all for coming. Talk to you later. Have a good one.